Married at First Sight, season 16, a Nashville, and this is for the after party, y'all. This is for the after party. And on the after party was Nicole, Eris, and Gaslighting Kirsten. Have y'all watched my other video on Kirsten and Shaq? If you haven't, be sure to check it out because I really go into it a lot more on that video. It's a longer video this week than normal. Be sure to check it out. But let me tell you, Kirsten got on this show and she does what she likes to do, and that is she likes to blame others and gaslight Shaq. Kirsten got on this show and said she was really upset at the fact that Shaq was sitting there talking to Jasmine about the fact that he felt bad that he couldn't meet her daddy. And you know what Kirsten got out of that? First, they were trying to make it. First thing they said was, did you feel that that Shaq was flirting with Jasmine? And Keisha and I asked both Eris and also asked Kirsten. And Eris said, no, I didn't feel like he was flirting with her, not at all. And then Kirsten said the same thing. I didn't feel that they were flirting at all. But she said, what I am upset about is that he can talk to a whole lot of other people about stuff, but he doesn't talk to me. This girl. So she was upset at the fact for what she said was, I was upset that Shaq revealed to Jasmine that it bothered him that he hadn't met my father. First of all, this is reminiscent of last week when Shaq told Kirsten, hey, why didn't you tell me something? And you know what she told him? Because you didn't ask me. Remember, he said, I don't understand why you didn't talk to me about that. And she told him, because you didn't ask me. And if you wanted to know, you should have asked me. Well, here we are, Kirsten. If you wanted to know if Shaq was bothered by not meeting your father, the man you say so wonderful, the man who set this high standard in life for your living, if you wanted to know if he was bothered by it, why didn't you ask? Guess who did ask? Jasmine. Guess who did ask the question, Kirsten? Jasmine asked the question. And you know what she got? She got an answer. So for you to sit here last week and say Shaq can't be mad about something he didn't know because he didn't ask, and now you sit here mad because you didn't know something about Shaq because you didn't ask, but Jasmine asked. And not only did Jasmine ask, when she asked the question the first time, he said, no, I'm not bothered. But you know what? She was intuitive enough to know that how the heck could that bother you? And she said, are you sure you're not upset? And you know what he said? Yeah, it does bother me. You could have done that, Kirsten. You could have done that as the wife. You could have had the same standards for yourself that you had standards for Shaq. But here's the problem with Kirsten. Kirsten got standards for Shaq that she herself can't live up to. She wants Shaq to buy houses, $2 million houses, buy cars, buy watches, buy push gifts, buy all these things. And Kirsten don't do none of this. None of it. She barely kissing the man. She got high standards up here, but she ain't, because she got low standards for herself. She want to be a housewife, right? Even Eris got on here and said, what's wrong if a woman wants to be a housewife? I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see nothing wrong with it either, Eris. I don't see nothing wrong with a woman saying, hey, I want to be a housewife. But here's where I have a problem with. I have a problem with a woman who want to be a housewife but don't know how to take care of a house. I sure do. I got a problem with a woman who wants to be a housewife, but that doesn't know how to decorate a house, doesn't know how to take care of a plant, doesn't know how to cook, doesn't know how to eat with her mouth closed. Okay? I got a problem with all that. You can't want something that you don't even know how to take care of, or you can't even meet the standards of the job as well. Period. Point blank. I'ma say it. Kirsten uses all this trickery to try to get Shaq to up his game. Talking about rich friends she has that buys their wives houses and cars. Let me see him. Let me talk to him. I want to talk to the men you're talking about that have so much extra money that they're able to pay 100% for everything. It's a small percentage of men in the world today. You know how expensive it is to live out here in the world? I'm not talking about a man who may pay 80% of the bills or 90% of the bills. A lot of these men who walk around talking about I'm paying all the bills, you don't see no details on that. You don't see no details on, they can't be saying it. You don't know. You don't know. Sometimes when you talk to these women, you find out that's not really true. He says it. Yeah, he does pay the mortgage, but I pay the gas bill, the electric bill, the cable bill. I buy the food for the house. I pay for the kids' daycare. So when you add up all these other things, it's just as much as the mortgage. It's just as much as the mortgage. But you got men talking about I pay the house note. I pay for the house. I pay for this. That's fine. I'm not going to put that down. But they're not adding all the other things the women pay for. You know how much groceries are these days? Cable bills, internet, electric, all these little bills the men feel aren't nothing because they're paying the mortgage. All the little bills sometimes add up to more than the mortgage. You know how much daycare is now? A lot of women are paying for daycare out their pockets. And sure, the man may be paying the rent or the mortgage, but daycare is hella expensive. Internet bill is expensive. Cable bill is expensive. Food is expensive. Healthcare insurance is expensive. So don't be discounting what women are bringing to the table because men around here talking about I pay the mortgage. There are not that many men who can pay for everything, people. I'm talking everything. It's not that many people who can afford to do that. Not in this day and age. It is tough. Now Eric's sitting over here talking about he the hero in the relationship, talking about, yeah, I'm just trying to be patient with Jasmine so she can so that she can open up more because she was patient with me. Boy, the party's over. The party is over. You ever meet that person? You invite them to a party and you like, my party is going to be from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. or whatever else, and they show up at 9:30. Talking about why you guys turning off the music. I'm here to party. That's Eris. The party's over. The party's over, Eris. You showing up now? You showing up now? The party's over. You might as well go on back home. You showing up now with all your bags talking about you've been to therapy. I don't know where you started, Eris. I don't know where you started. But if this is where you are through therapy, I can't imagine where you were before. Like the Lord, like they say, you don't know where I've been to. You don't know where I come from. So don't judge me. And so that's what I'm going to say to Eris. I'm not going to judge you for the progress you've made. Because obviously, if you've been in therapy, hopefully it's been working, which means 2 years ago before therapy, you were even worse than this. But that doesn't mean I have to say you're fit for marriage. You're not. Watch my video on Eris and Jasmine. Kudos to him for being in therapy. Kudos to him for making progress. But you're a little bit too late for this party. This party started now 6 weeks ago. 6 weeks ago. And so for you to just now be showing up at the party, talking about now I want to be open and honest and talk about some things. No, I'm packing up. I'm cleaning up. Talking about why you shutting down the bar. Yeah, I'm shutting down the bar. The party's over. Well, I want a drink. No, you're not getting a drink. We're not making no drinks no more because I'm cleaning up, wrapping up this stuff because I'm about to go to bed. Jasmine, go to bed. Don't keep this party going for Eris because he's just now getting to it at 9:30 and the party supposed to be over at 10. Jasmine, clean up your party, pack up your stuff, and go to bed. All of a sudden, Eris got all this new revelation. Oh, Jasmine comes from a big family, so she's really so used to doing so much for everyone. So sometimes she doesn't look out for herself. Thank you, Eris, for the revelation. We already figured this out on week 1. Like I said, late to the party. We already danced to that song. He coming in the party talking about, hey, play this song. No, we've already played that song 2 times during the party. We're not playing that song again. Just because you got here at the end of the party, now you want to start the playlist over? No, we already played that song. We danced to it. We sweated out our hair. We're done with it. The party's over. I don't want to hear no stories about your revelations or what you want to do now after we've been here already. Ugh, I can't stand Eris. And Nicole over here giving him cool points, talking about, oh, you're so aware. Nicole, go sit down. Go sit down. Go over here. Just stay over here with Chris. Don't get involved in none of this Eris and Jasmine stuff because let me tell you, this stuff is way too deep for you to be getting involved. It is way too deep and deep-rooted on Eris for the quack therapist Nicole to be getting involved. She's a quack therapist. She's a quack counselor. Don't be getting involved. Don't be getting involved with this. This is grown folk stuff over here. You going over there with Chris. Go on over there with Chris. Don't be getting involved, putting notes through people's doors with Kirsten and Shaq. Don't be telling Eris, oh, you're so aware. No, he's not. He's not aware. Stop it. Stop praising him. Stop it. Now he's learning on this after party. He's talking about, I didn't create a safe space for a Jasmine. And the truth be told, he isn't even having this awareness in the moment of his marriage. He's actually having this awareness now at the after party, which we know the after party is filmed way later. Way later. So now he's saying, I didn't create a safe space. So somebody must have had to tell him that. He had to go through this whole eight weeks of marriage. He had to go back to his therapist. He had to talk to other people. And somebody had to tell him, boy, you didn't create no safe space for that girl. And now he's coming on the after party acting like in that moment he knew all this. He didn't know that in this moment. He knows it in this after party, but he didn't know it in that moment. He's trying to, this after party was supposed to be, what were you thinking in that moment? He's like, well, I'm being patient because, I know that I didn't create a safe space for her. No, you weren't thinking that in that moment because you weren't aware back then. You may be aware now after the marriage is over, after you've gone back to therapy, after somebody told you about yourself, but you didn't know it then. So you were not creating a safe space for her back then. Watch my video, y'all. He was not creating a safe space for her back then. He wasn't at all. He may be talking that good game now, but that's not what he was doing back then. That's why I wholeheartedly back Jasmine when Jasmine says, I don't have nothing to say. That's where you keep it, Jasmine. You want to dance to a song, Eris? You want a song to dance to? Here's the beat for you. I don't have nothing to say. You want to dance to a song when you show up to a party late? Here's the beat. Catch this beat. I don't have nothing to say. I don't have nothing to say. Get your groove to that. Get your groove to that beat. Then they show this little part about Chris and Nicole going down a memory lane, trauma lane. That's what I'm going to call it. Don't call it memory lane. Call it trauma lane. They need to have a street named after them in Nashville called Trauma Lane. Because that is the street they love to go down. I'm not even going to go over it in this after party. I'm not going to recount the trauma stories because I'm tired of listening to them. Like I said, watch my video on them as well. I'm tired of listening to them. I'm not going to go over them on this after party because not only am I tired of listening to them, I'm tired of talking about them on these videos. I'm going to need therapy after listening to their trauma stories. I'm going to need therapy. They really need to march on into the future. Into the future, Chris and Nicole. Stop looking back. Stop looking back. Kirsten says she loves watching Chris and Nicole's love story. She loves a romance. She loves a love story. I know she loves a fantasy. That's what she loves. She loves a fantasy. Kirsten loves to create a fantasy picture and then wants you to live up to that fantasy. $2.9 million houses that she's selling. She ain't selling no $2.9 million house. A $2.9 million house to buy. Ain't nobody buying you a $2.9 million house. Buy me fancy cars. Buy me fancy houses. Do all this other kind of stuff. I don't want to put no money in, but I want to be on the deed. A fantasy, fantasy, fantasy. That's what she creates. You need to provide a life that I'm accustomed to from my daddy. Let me show you the house my daddy bought me when I was a kid. This 2-bedroom house in Tennessee. 2 bedrooms, 3 of you piled up in 1 bedroom. That's the fantasy you want me to create? Then why are you showing me a $2.9 million house? If I could provide for you like your daddy did. Is this all I got to buy is a 2-bedroom house? I could provide that. What's she talking about? What lifestyle is she talking about? Friends who husbands buy them houses and cars. What is Kirsten talking about? She want to be a housewife, but she don't know how to clean, cook, decorate. That's not a housewife. I don't know what she's doing. What is she talking about? Entertain. She's serving. She don't know how to clean, cook, entertain, nothing. She entertaining mentees, serving them pizza. Where's the homemade meal? These are college students. You want to be a real good housewife? A real good housewife would have cooked these mentees a home cooked meal because these mentees are away from home. Probably haven't had a home cooked meal and I don't know how long. You want to be a good housewife? You want to entertain for your husband so he'll buy you a $2.9 million house? Learn how to cook a home cooked meal and not that salad you was stuffing in your mouth. Get out of here. And then she sat over here and Gaslight talking about, well, the reason why Shaq hasn't met her daddy is because her daddy's been too busy. I thought the reason he didn't come to the wedding because he didn't want to get COVID tested. I thought the reason in the episode you say the reason why Shaq couldn't meet your daddy or any of your family members is because you weren't ready to introduce him. So he's not good enough to meet your family. He's not good enough to meet your daddy, but he's good enough for him to say, I'm going to buy you a $2.9 million house. Girl. Kirsten. What are we going to do with you, girl? What are we going to do with you? So then Aries tries to take up for Shaq and say, well, maybe the reason he talked to Jasmine was because, sometimes as black men, it's hard to talk about our feelings. He was projecting on the Shaq because it's hard for him to talk about his feelings. But Kirsten got him in the bus and said, no, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear no stories about no black man and no black man can't talk about their feelings. First of all, she was correct about that because Shaq doesn't actually have a problem talking about his feelings. So first of all, Aries, go sit down. Shaq's problem is not your problem, okay? You got problems talking about your feelings, but that really isn't a problem with Shaq. So I'm going to agree with Kirsten on that. But I disagree with Kirsten in saying that no, that's not his problem. His problem is that he just don't talk to me. Girl, get out of here with this. He should feel more comfortable having conversations with his wife and not with other people. Comfortable? You reject and put down any thought the man has. When the man told you, hey, I would want to buy a house together, you put it down. When you told the man that, hey, the house shouldn't just be for you, it should also be for us, you put the man down, told him that, no, that's not what I said. I was just joking. Anytime the man tries to tell you something, you put him down for it. Kirsten has this way of when she don't want something, she tries to get you off of it. And then when you stop telling her what you want, she says, well, what's wrong with you? Why didn't you tell me what you wanted? She a gaslighter. She's horrible. She really is horrible. I said in my videos, Kirsten better freeze her eggs because she's going to be single a while. She's going to be single a while. And even if a man does marry her, once he gets a whiff of what's really going on, he probably going to divorce her. He's going to divorce her because this is hard to deal with. This is hard to deal with long term, what Kirsten does. What Kirsten does, the type of manipulation she's doing to get her way. And like I told you from the very beginning, pickiness was a form of manipulation. Talking bad about Shaq and his bald head was a form of manipulation. It was a way to devalue Shaq so that she could ask for more and make him want to step up to give her more. It had nothing to do with the bald head. It had to do with manipulating him so that he would want to pay more for her. He would want to. Her price is now a $2.9 million house, and she gets to be a housewife and does nothing. She can live in a $2.9 million house, ride around in fancy cars, and she doesn't know how to cook, clean, throw dinner parties. She doesn't know how to decorate. She doesn't know how to take care of a plant. And the only thing she needs to know how to do is bake cookies, and not from scratch, just like all of you pointed out, from the frozen, prepared Pillsbury chocolate chip cookies. She ain't even baking the cookies from scratch. Housewife, where? Where's the housewife? I don't see her. Anyway, that's it, y'all. Watch my other videos. I'll talk to you later. Bye.